What's going on YouTube? This is NYG for everyone. It's been a while since I make a video, like probably 2 weeks ago. But let's get down to this hate week against the Vikings. Vikings are a good team. Got a good running back, Calvin Cook. They got a good quarter. Actually, I won't say mediocre. I'll say an average quarterback, Kirk Cousins. I mean, their roster's fully healthy. They're saying Eric Kendricks is questionable to play. You're talking about Cameron Denzer, the corner who they got 2 years ago. He's questionable to play. It doesn't really matter. I know those two are gonna play. I know they don't have Garrett Bradbury, that center they got a few years ago, but it doesn't really matter because my Giants are gonna take good care of them. Even though they're a good team, they lead the NFC North, but don't let it fool you, man. The Vikings could be exposed. I mean, good secondary, good front seven, good offensive line. They can run the ball well, but running the ball well doesn't mean nothing against us because we got run eaters that could stop the run. And don't underestimate Dexter Lawrence and Leonard Williams because they'll eat you alive in the run game. And don't forget about Kayvon Thibodeau, who was all over the place that last game against the Washington Commanders. He could stop the run too. And he's getting a lot better too. And don't forget about Zizo Zerora, who could also stop the run. So it's not going to be easy. And don't forget about Jalen Smith. He could bust through those A gaps and B gaps to stop that run too. And don't forget about Micah McFadden, who's getting a lot better stopping the run too. And don't underestimate my secondary, because my secondary will blanket your wide receivers all day. Even though Justin Jefferson's a beast, Adam Thielen's a beast. Don't forget about T.J. Hockenson. He's a beast. He kills secondaries. But you see, T.J. Hockenson will be limited. I mean, Dalvin Cook will try to get his yards all he wants, but he'll probably go get 8 yards against us because you know why? We're here to clinch the division on your own building, and we're gonna do it we're gonna do it tomorrow. Because once we do it tomorrow and clinch that division, it's gonna be over. Don't underestimate our wide receivers too, because even though we don't have a true number one wide receiver and a true number two wide receiver, but we do have a number three wide receiver named Darius Slayton, who has 631 receiving yards for the season. Don't forget about Ricky James, who had 403 receiving yards. They could make plays on your secondary. And don't forget about Isaiah Hopkins, who had 220 receiving yards. Don't forget about that too, because if you try to underestimate our wide receiving core that can't make plays on your secondary, you guys are done. Because when we clinch that division, actually no, when we clinch that playoff berth on your home stadium, it's going to be over. You guys are already in the playoffs. We're trying to fight for our playoff spots. We don't want to beat a whack-ass team like the Colts just to clinch the playoff berth. We're going to rather clinch it against a good team like the Vikings. And once we run that ball down your throat, Vikings, it's going to be over. Once we receive 200 receiving yards each on your secondary, on each wide receivers, it's going to be over. And we're going to make Kirk Cousins pass 45 times. We're going to sack his ass only twice. And once that happens, it's going to be over. And you think that Kirk Cousins is going to throw to our secondary? Go right ahead. Our secondary has been making plays. Kodak Flott had been making plays that last game against the Washington Commanders. Imagine what he's going to do against your wide receivers. Like I said, Justin Jefferson is a beast. He'll get his yards, but we're going to limit the other wide receivers, including that tie-in T.J. Hockenson. See, our linemen may not cover well, but when they have a chance, they'll make the play on the ball. They'll get a tip. It'll probably be a tip to an interception. And once we get that interception and take it to the house, you guys will not hear the end of it. It's going to be over for you Vikings. We're going to run that ball down your throat. We're going to have 200 receiving yards each on on our wide receivers. Kirk Cousins, we're gonna have a nightmare game against our front four. You see what we did to Tanner Heineke, right? We stripped at his ass and scored that touchdown. Same thing's gonna happen to Kirk Cousins because we own Kirk Cousins. You know, you're a good team, Vikings, but we're gonna clinch in your own building and your own house, and our Giants gonna prevail. Until then, this is NYG31 signing out.